Well, if we didn't have the TIM program, I remember pre-TIM in this church, it was extremely difficult for us to get together, and we felt like it wasn't a priority. In fact, when we first started, the biggest problem was scheduling, which is everybody's problem, but it wasn't a priority, a conscious priority in the church as much as it was. When Tim finally came in and formalized everything, it was like we were on the schedule, like we were part of the church life officially. And we had a place to go to ask questions and a place to go to talk about the things that we were concerned about. And people heard us. And that's made a huge difference. In terms of helping me serve my parish, it has been a game changer, because all of us at the beginning of this process were feeling really strained, isolated at the end of our rope kind of a thing. We had friends, but there was no formal way of really addressing these things. And it has increased my faith tremendously to grow with these women over the years, but also it's made me, I believe, a much better Matushka. I am better able to deal with the human to human problems because I have somebody to bounce my observations off of, and it's people that have similar experiences to me. You don't feel so alone. It's really great. I would say to anybody considering joining a TIM group, you need it even if you don't know you need it. Because when you need it, when you have something happen that you need to talk to other women about, you need that groundwork of a relationship first. And then it's a tremendous emotional and psychic saving grace, really. But you need to establish that relationship. Even if you think you don't need it, you will. At some point you will. Trust me. And establishing that relationship and having that to go to has been indispensable.
Sometimes pastoral life can be kind of isolating. When we have a group of people coming together and we're able to have a safe space together, it gives us that sort of security, a kind of security and strength to help us be better priests. And for me, it helps me to be a better priest, just knowing that there's people there that support you and you can support one another in support, spiritual support. There's strength in emotional support. And there's strength in community. And over time in our group, the more we know one another, then the more we come to know ourselves with more clarity. And then the more we can appropriate that in our pastoral ministry, in our pastoral ministry. I believe that the more we're vulnerable with one another, then the more we can connect with others. I do believe that. I really do.
TIM groups, today, I think, add a wonderful opportunity to those who are members of it, because once a TIM group becomes established and reaches some kind of momentum, there's a trust and confidence that is established, which means that within that group, those people know that somebody got their back. They can go to that person within the context of the group itself. Sometimes it's a relationship that's established within the group, but it may be one-on-one, but it's something that gives that priest that's kind of safety, that sense of safety and comfort, knowing that they can go to a person with knowledge that they are safe to share some problems or concerns or pains, or share even joys and things. So that's something that TIM offers that those who are not in it don't have.
So my involvement in the Thriving in Ministry peer group has provided me with an awareness of the, first of all, our relationships one with another, that there are other bishops who find themselves in similar circumstances, and they benefit from fellowship. They benefit from sharing, from openness. This has helped me knowing that, first of all, I can develop these collegial and brotherly relationships with our own hierarchs outside of our work of administering diocese, and really to look at ourselves, what is taking place in our life. What has brought joy to my ministry? What are the biggest challenges I face in my ministry? And how do I share in a meaningful way with my brother bishops? And as illustration, sometimes there's only 2 or 3 of us on the call because everyone is so busy, and some are dealing with health problems as well. This was a good way to interact and keep these healthy ties going, which helped sustain us during the previous year. And I saw that I was in a context in which I was never judged. And I saw the value of being vulnerable, of sharing, of opening myself up to the insights and interests of my fellow bishops. And the purpose of this financial health initiative is to provide our priests with tools to kind of help them deal with their finances. Perhaps they come from a parish which is a smaller parish where their funding is rather limited, and we had to figure out ways to help them out so that the weight of financial concerns doesn't crush them and distract them from their task of parish ministry. And having seen firsthand some of the pressure under which some of our priests serve, I think that this is a very welcome project for our Orthodox Church in America, especially to help those priests who, for example, don't serve in a large parish or large cathedral, or maybe are in a parish with limited means, or they have a large family, or perhaps have been encumbered with financial debt, perhaps due to medical costs for some member of the family, or some sort of vocational challenges in what they do. So I am ready, knowing Father Nicholas Solak and the other members of the Office of Pastoral Life, I'm always ready to support them, encourage them, and participate in any project with which they need a little bit more support, or to help other people know what the Office of Pastoral Life does.
Well, to be honest with you, the Clergy Wives Ministry has been doing an awful lot of work the last 2 years at least to address any of the concerns and issues or needs of the wives, not only those who are currently serving, but the widows. And so the number of Zoom retreats that we've been able to have through this program has been amazing. There's one every quarter. And the speakers have just been, extremely important to understanding the direction of where we're going to go with support and love and caring from the church. And so I think because we expect the church to be that way, because that's what the church is, the community of family. And so the fact that we can actually manifest this with programs. The Clergy Wives Ministry is so important because there is information and support available for the widow. And that's something that we reach out and let them know, because otherwise they really don't know which way to turn unless they have an experience with this already. And therefore, if that void exists, we lose people. They become, anonymous, basically. And to be honest with you, not every pastor in every church keeps track of all their clergy widows. Some dioceses are better than others as far as the bishop keeping track. I know in ours, he's very diligent and manages to make sure you have cards sent to you on your birthday, on the holidays, and he sends a newsletter. You're included within the clergy community. And so that's very important, because when you're just cut off suddenly from the role that you had for many years as the spouse of a clergyman, because it's your life, you two are one. And so therefore, you know now that you have a clergy wives support group that you can reach out to. The Clergy Wives Ministry is happy to have be under the umbrella of the Office of Pastoral Life, just because there needs to be a greater concern for the overall clergy families. So the wives and the widows are part of that family. And I think whether it's spiritual support, whether it's emotional support, and eventually there should be some financial support for the needs of some of our widows.
You know, there's an attraction to hear the speaker and the subjects, and the subjects vary. They vary from spiritual life to various aspects of pastoral life, including practical dimensions of pastoral life. So that's certainly, I think, we give thought to what the subject will be. Then there is the fact that we meet new people, new faces, new people, and we sort of reacquaint ourselves with old friends, and also see old friends. So on all those levels, Synaxis, offers a lot of possibilities. I think that being a Orthodox priest in North America presents us with different challenges. We live in a society that is largely Christian, of course, but within which the Orthodox witness is not the dominant one. So there's a challenge that we as Orthodox clergy and Orthodox people face in dealings as being part of American citizens. And sometimes there are certain challenges and even maybe difficulties there. There have been historically things that challenged our people, but I would think more relevant today is the fact that society has dramatically changed. The world has dramatically changed in the last dozen years, and it's changing almost day by day. There are various social issues, moral issues that affect our society and therefore our people. And in a sense, even new challenges, which we can't go to the canons or even to some pastoral guidebook to solve. So solutions come through the guidance of the Holy Spirit, through the wise direction of our hierarchs, and also very much through the dialogue, discussions, sharing of joys and sorrows that we clergy and clergy wives have through these various opportunities that are offered. The TIM meetings and Synaxis, all of that is really, I would say it's life enhancing and life supportive for clergy.